Good morning, namaste. It's Leanne Peters here from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here for an impromptu healing time. Right now I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia. It is Friday the 7th of December here at 8:52 a.m. and I'm just about to be going. I'm working at local art gallery today, or this morning, so I'm just about to leave in about 20 minutes, so I thought I'll get myself ready and pop in. I've got one of my drums here, my big drum, so I'll be playing that. I'm going to be smudging and basically creating a space of healing. Good morning. Hi Lindsay, hi Missy, hi Kerry, and hi Michelle. So I'm just going to get straight into it really, because I feel that this time is valuable. My reason for being here is because, well, it's been a bit up and down, hasn't it, this week? And I just felt like, for me personally, with my, I wouldn't say downs, but the crashing off the waves and the crashing. So it feels to me at the moment like a lot of us are riding, as best as we can, these big waves that are crashing. And every now and then, maybe a few times a day right now, some days might be okay, sometimes it's throughout the night, but a big wave comes and sort of knocks us off our surfboard, and we sort of go underwater for a little bit, feel our feelings as fully as we can, and then try our best to get back on that surfboard again. And then we might stay on that for 5 minutes, we might stay on it for 5 hours before another wave kind of knocks us off again. So there seems to be this relentless knocking off or pounding at this time, so these crashing waves. So I personally have noticed that whenever I get knocked off these waves or off my surfboard, it throws me into a super vulnerable space. So I'm feeling quite vulnerable as I sit here right now. And that's just how I feel. I'm just being honest about it. It doesn't mean I need anything. I'm just being raw and honest in this moment. So I wanted to create a healing space for myself anyway. And I felt that there might be others, maybe you, who may find benefit from this healing time as well. So that's why I'm here. It's not an easy thing to do, sharing a video when you are feeling vulnerable, but I'm not one to shy away from that feeling, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. So yeah, let's just hold in support for each other. That's all that I ask, that we be here and support each other through our when we're feeling quite stable and resilient, and then when we're feeling vulnerable and underwater, while we stammer and find our way back to the surfboard again to get back on that wave. So for our healing time, I'm going to pull a healing energy card here for this healing time. Excuse my washing on the line, I just hung it out before I'm going, and well, it's just one of those things. We have washing that needs clothes that need washing in this house. So I'm going to pull a healing energy card focused around this healing time. So what this healing time will consist of is some smudging with the smudge stick, and then some drumming, and then I'll pull another healing energy card to go. So I trust this finds you well or supports you in a way that you need it at this time. I trust that you've been led here for a reason, so perhaps you are feeling a little bit low or a bit vulnerable, or are struggling a bit or a lot right now, and I really trust that you find some support from our time together. If it's not something you resonate with, then I trust you will find something that you love to do instead. So our best healing energy card for our healing time is this. Stillness, card 26. So it says self-healing, inner peace, silence and meditation may be helpful right now. Self-discipline and self-control. This card really reminds me of that Lotus Heart card that I pulled for Thursday. It even says prayer, Om Mani Padme Hum, throat chakra, observation and truth. So this was drawn from a monk, I don't know how to pronounce it, Guato or something. Monks came to visit a few years ago, 2006 or 7 I drew this. And there was this one guy, Pende, who was just incredible, this elder kind of monk. And I pretty much spent every day here, with the monks when they were visiting for these 5 or 7 days that they were here. And I was so inspired by this guy that I drew him. And he's since passed away, but he has this really strong, wise, but very sort of patient energy. So I think he brings forward a reminding for us, or a suggestion for us to, find a place of, it's going to be okay, especially when we wonder if things are going to be okay, or if we're feeling helpless, or if we're feeling troubled by things that have been going on this week. So let's remember to tap into the knowing that everything's going to be okay. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't take action. There's a strong feeling here these last couple of days for me that, it's good to trust and know everything's going to be okay. But I think we have to also remember that sometimes we need to take action on things. Sometimes we can't just sit back and watch something go downhill, if that makes sense. Sometimes we have to figure out a way, find a solution or a strategy that will prompt us to take action to maybe help things become better or clearer or more supportive for ourselves or others or those that we love. I think that sometimes we need to be careful we're not avoiding something that we don't like the feeling of just because we don't know what to do. So let's just keep nurturing ourselves through it, whatever we might be experiencing. Trust that everything's going to be okay, but also don't underestimate our need to take action, to find a plan, to establish some type of strategy. So I'm just lighting the smudge stick now here. So nice deep breath. Yeah, excuse me sniffing. My allergies are quite strong, loud at the minute with hay fever. So this is a white sage smudge stick, and it feels like it wants to go over our hearts. So our hearts that may have been feeling a bit wounded or bruised or sensitive or hurt. Let's imagine this sacred smoke blowing into our hearts and clearing away all of that stuff that we've been holding on to. When we feel helpless, when we feel troubled, when we feel worried about something or some things, it can hold us in a stagnant space, because the very nature of worry and being in that space holds us in it. So we need to remember to let the energy move by feeling our way through it, by being honest with ourselves, by letting ourselves feel vulnerable, by letting ourselves feel angry or whatever it is that we might feel, so that we can then recompose ourselves and get back on that surfboard again. So nice big breaths as we let our heart clear out and mend and heal. So I'm going to take 3 big breaths. Thank you. Also, before I put this stick out, we also ask that this sacred smoke carry away with it all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks and attachments that we may be holding in our heart, our mind, our body, our life at this time. So we ask that this sacred smoke carry that away and we let that go. So big deep breaths as we surrender and let go. And also anything in our life that we may be struggling with at this time, any negativity, any troubles or struggles that we're going through in our environment, in our relationships, in our space. We ask this sacred smoke to find its way through those parts of our life and clear away any negativity, anything that's holding us back. And so it is. Thank you. I trust you're feeling okay. Okay, let's go into some drumming time. Once I get this out, I'll just do a time check. Oops, time check. 9:02. Okay. Okay, that's good. So what I'm going to do is actually grab another card for drumming. So this was our card for smudging, which was stillness, which means find a sense of peace and acceptance of what's going on or how we're dealing with something. You know, this is so much like that Lotus Heart card I pulled for yesterday's guidance for Thursday. And I guess for some of you it might still be Thursday. So, yeah, it seems like it's sister card or companion card from the other deck, which is funny. I didn't realise before. So let's grab a card for our drumming time. What do we need to know as we prepared to drum? Haven't drummed for a while, have I? On a live video. We'll go with this card for drumming. Male support, card 14. So this says, father-son connections and healing. You are supported. Inner father protecting the inner child. Protection, camouflage, and family connections. This is reminding us that we are protected and that we are safe, and especially those in our care. So our children, our elderly family figures perhaps, people that are in our care, people that are maybe vulnerable around us, to come in and be that support for them as best as we can. And I see this as like our vulnerable family members or vulnerable friends who may be struggling. And this is us coming in, even though we might feel vulnerable, coming in and being that support and being there for that vulnerable person in our life. There's also a sense here of support that we may need. Support that we may need in a masculine sense. So a feeling safe, feeling protected, and that sense of believing that everything is going to work out. And sometimes in the middle of the chaos and when we've just been thrown from the waves, it can feel like we're in a place where things are not going to get better. It feels like it's permanent. It's not permanent. The energy is going to move. So, my nose is so itchy and tickly. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to drum now. So I've got my big shamanic drum. I'm going to play that for 5 minutes or so. Basically, I'm just about to move my microphone away from the drum so it doesn't buzz, hopefully, too much. So there's nothing you can do wrong when you're connecting with the drum. Just let yourself feel, let yourself listen. At the very least. If you want to, you can take your connection deeper by taking some deep breaths and letting the drum speak to you. Let the drum hold you in a space of support and strength and protection if you need it right now. If you're feeling vulnerable, acknowledge to yourself that you're feeling vulnerable. It takes a lot of strength for us to acknowledge that we feel vulnerable. I feel very vulnerable right now. I feel quite uncomfortable sitting here. I feel quite raw and fragile in this moment. So I'm just being honest with how I feel. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing because I'm supporting myself. I'm stepping through that vulnerability by opening up with you in an honest way. So I want to be an example to show you that it takes strength to admit that we're feeling vulnerable, and it's okay to feel vulnerable. So if you feel vulnerable, feel it, because that vulnerability will carry you into the next feeling as you start rebuilding your strength, as you start coming out the other side. So I'm going to drum. I'm going to move my microphone, so I'm not going to talk. You can just listen to the drum, and hopefully it's not too rattly. I apologise in advance if it is. I don't know until I listen back. So I'll put this microphone as far away as I can, and I'll talk to you when I've finished. So take some deep breaths and enjoy. Thank you. I trust you enjoyed that little bit of drumming. It's very short. What time is it? Oh yeah, 9:10. Yeah, so I didn't realise you could see the cat there. So thank you. I trust you enjoyed that bit of drumming. To me, it felt very nurturing and almost like, like if we'd hit the reset button or if we'd been driving a vehicle and come to a stop, then I feel like the drum was like revving us up again or getting us moving again, getting our foot on the accelerator again, because things had become a bit, even though the energy's moving, a little bit stuck, a little bit stagnant with the stuff that we've been dealing with or what's being presented to us. So even though the waves continue to move as they crash down, it's almost like being caught in a turbulent sea that feels relentless. And you know how the darkest part of the night feels like it's going to go on forever when we're in a very low space or when we're stuck outside or something in those moments. So even though things seem stagnant and building and intense, there is energy moving, and I feel like the drum sort of sparking that movement again for us, but also nurturing us. So this was the card that I drummed to, male support. So reminding ourselves that we are protected and supported and safe, and especially by that masculine energy which we have inside, like our inner father, protecting our inner child, or us protecting and being there even if we feel vulnerable for those vulnerable people in our life, our children, or those in our care, or those that are struggling right now. So I trust you enjoyed that. I can't stay for much longer. I'm just going to pull another healing energy card to go. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. And if you want to learn more about me and the work that I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. If you enjoyed the video, please come back again and connect with some more sometime soon. So our healing energy card representing our forward movement from here. So what do we need to know now to move forward, to let the energy continue to move now? We will go with this card, Third Eye Opening, card 21. This is basically reminding us to trust. Sometimes we just have to trust. We might not know what's going to happen. We might not know what to do. But we just have to trust in the unfolding moments. Oh, excuse me, my nose is very clogged up with allergies. So sometimes we just have to trust. So even in our most gruesome, worrying moments, usually in the middle of the night, when we just worry and blow things out of proportion, let's remember or remind ourselves to trust. Let's trust in the unfolding. Let's trust everything will work out. But that doesn't mean that we're not being proactive when we're inspired to be. So trusting that everything's going to work out doesn't mean we bury our head in the sand, but we just recognize that maybe there's not a lot we can do right now, or we're doing what we can right now, and maybe tomorrow there'll be a new something that we can do that will help this situation. But for now, we just need to trust in the moments, trust in the strength of our heart, and trust in what we need to do as we go. Trust that, we really need to trust one moment at a time, don't we? So that's our card, forward movement from here. Basically trust, open and expand, trust in the flow of life, trust in yourself. So thank you so much. I've used my healing energy cards, which are great support for your healing journey. If you're inspired to learn more, just have a look on my website. But I have to go. I've got somewhere to be. So have a great rest of your day. I will pop back in a few hours, 4 or 5 or 6 hours time when I open the kiln. Aside from that, I'll connect with you again soon. So sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for being who you are. You are loved. You are supported. Namaste.